It's a pivotal weekend on the Race for 8 Professional Handball Tour as the World Players of Handball have taken the trek to the Bay Area for another exciting weekend. Handball players from Canada, Mexico, Ireland, and the United States are gathering points and with a couple stops left in the season have circled San Francisco and the Olympic Club on their calendars. It's moving week as the race for the top 8 spots in the rankings heat up. With the World Players of Handball and ESPN3. Welcome to gorgeous San Francisco. We're at the Olympic Club. My name is Dave Vincent. We're alongside David Fink for this round of 8 matchup between Killian Carroll and Shorty Ruiz. I'm not sure if we're going to call this an upset yesterday with Shorty defeating Emmett Peixote, but if you look back to 2015, it was Emmett who made the finals of this tournament alongside Paul Brady, and therefore one of the top players here in San Francisco, a former club champion. You would say that with his hometown crowd here yesterday, it must be an upset for Shorty to get through.
I consider it a very big upset. Shorty winning just his second main draw match of his career. He's now qualified 13 times in a row. He qualified 10 times before that streak started. So 2 round of 16 wins, yesterday being the second. He takes down the 13-time Olympic Club singles champion, former Race for 8 number 2, and 2015 San Francisco Race for 8 finalist on his home court, and he survived match point to do it.
It was an amazing comeback there at the end for Shorty, who gets to this point against our number 1, Killian Carroll. Best 2 out of 3 to 15. Tiebreaker also 15. You have to win by 2. And that's the sort of stuff we saw late in that match against Emmett Peixote yesterday that helped Shorty make that comeback.
Very high quality play thus far. 2 great kill shots to start the match.
Oh, that's a...
Over ball.
Shorty known for coming up just short so many times, but yesterday he got over the hump. And you know, if you play enough close matches, you're going to win some of them. And he did yesterday. Great to see it for him.
Side out.
And Dave, of course, you know that this is Shorty's second appearance in the quarterfinals. His first appearance, he also drew Killian Carroll in the quarterfinals. That was in Houston about 13 months ago.
Shorty getting really low for that shot off the back wall. No avoidable called there, but from that angle, it certainly looked like it.
That was strange. I've never seen Shorty jump in front of a ball like that. Maybe it was the angle. Been very unusual.
Shorty Ruiz, Tucson, Arizona. Killian Carroll now living in Boston, Massachusetts. And that's something Shorty can do so well, probably top 2 on tour. He's a modified wall ball player, playing with the racquetball or big ball. Comes into this court having to learn the small ball game, and he's done it fairly quickly.
Shorty's been close here.
I'm going to call that an avoidable hinder.
No arguing from Shorty. And Killian saying no. But Killian
side out.
Didn't think that was the right call. The avoidables happened earlier in this match, but that one I don't think was.
Side out.
A great start with 2 straight kills has now kind of cooled off. We've seen some strange contact and a couple of errors from both guys.
Short ball.
Shorty scoring just 2 points when these 2 met in Houston in the quarterfinals a year ago.
Point.
This is Killian's first Race for 8 event in 2 months, Dave. His last stop was in Montana at the end of January, which he won for the 2nd straight year. That was just his first win of this season after winning 6 stops last year.
Side out. 1, serving 1.
Shorty's got
Point.
a huge following, Dave, not only in Tucson, where
serving
he
one.
now lives.
Short ball.
He's kind of the mayor in Tucson these days,
Second serve.
but also in Southern California, where he grew up. His whole family is there.
This is a big setup for him. Killian calls 2 bounces.
Side out.
Shorty seemed like he hit that a little too hard, but he
One
gets the
serving
side out.
2. Short ball. Second serve.
Shorty's so popular in
out.
Tucson, Dave, that they bought a second TV in the handball clubhouse
2
to
serving
be able
1.
to watch Shorty while also watching other ESPN
Right.
programming.
From hot dog eating contest to volleyball to Shorty. That's what you're going to get in that clubhouse, and there's a
Side
miss.
out.
How do you miss
Again.
that one, Dave?
Well, he's missed a couple of them.
Yeah.
That first one that he missed, they called an avoidable on
Right.
Shorty, which
One serving
shouldn't have been
2.
called, but then he misses another one.
Shorty's going to
Side
have
out.
to find that back wall kill if he's going to be competitive in this match. And there's days he
2
has it.
serving 1.
So far today, he's not executed any of his back wall opportunities. He's
ball.
had 6.
Second serve.
Killian trying to go with a huge reverse on that serve that was short.
2 bounces. Thank you. 3 serving 1. Over ball.
Boy,
I
that's
had a
tough.
chance to take a tour of the club with Emmett Peixote yesterday, and he was telling me the
3
way these
serving
walls are
1.
built with sand in them and similar to the squash courts, they definitely play differently. I've played
Point.
a lot of matches in here already this week, and I've noticed the ball cracks out on that side
4
wall and
serving
stays
1.
down flat. I've seen a lot of guys doing it,
Yeah, I heard that too.
Point.
and I think it has something to do with the construction of the walls. It's slightly
5
different than
serving 1.
what
First
these guys
timeout.
might be used to seeing.
5 serves 1 is the score here in game number 1. We had Kara talk to Shorty a little bit earlier about his strategy against Killian. Carroll, we want you to take a look.
Well, I got the #1 guy in the world that I'm going up against. But if I keep my composure and remind myself not to rush, not to play frustrated, and play calm like I
30
was
seconds.
today, it should be a good outcome for me. I mean, when you rally with them, if you hop the ball on them, I noticed that that's what Daniel was doing with them in Portland, and he kept them off balance, and it worked out for him. So I'm going to try to do that during our rallies.
It's easy to say that when you're on the sidelines, but hopping balls in the rallies, that means that you're thinking, and it's very hard to think in this game. It's such a fast-paced game, especially when you're playing with Killian. Do you think that's a strategy that you can actually live by, is that hop in the rallies?
Well, Shorty's hitting mostly paddle shots, so you're not going to be hopping a lot of paddle shots. I haven't seen Shorty whipping a lot of balls in here, so until he starts whipping the ball with sidearm swings, it's going to be
Score
hard
is
for him
5
to
serving 1.
execute that game plan.
Ball's coming at you so fast, it's hard to think about that stuff.
Point.
And see, that was a natural hook there on that serve from Killian, so he's the one hopping
6 serving 1.
right now. Smart.
Side out.
That's the wrong foot
1
pass.
serving 6.
Perfect shot there for Shorty, who now needs to get himself some points.
Both of these
Point.
guys having troubles around that revolving door. And,
2
and maybe
serving
that's
6.
part of what you're talking about with the ball kind of targeting down on those side walls. A huge hop right there in the middle of the rally from Shorty. That angle didn't really show you, but I'll tell you, you saw the way that
3
Killian
serving
set his
6.
feet and then had to jump backwards on that huge natural hook.
Side
Shorty
out.
comes in and scores 2 points after that timeout, but then it's a left-hand back wall error.
Serving 3.
Killian back in the box without doing much.
Nope.
Side out.
I thought we might see a slightly rusty Killian Carroll in this event. He was tied at 10 yesterday in his first round against Peter
serving
Function.
6.
He went on to score 20 of the last 25 points in that match. But here today, not looking as sharp as maybe we've seen him.
Side out.
Another hand error for Shorty Ruiz. He looks rusty here too. Can't make this many hand errors
6
against the
serving
#1
3.
player in the world.
Side out.
This is the all rusty final.
3 serving 6.
Well, I heard you mentioning, Dave, before the match started, that Killian will make some errors early in games, but it seems like it's another error from Shorty.
Side
It
out.
seems like when it gets into crunch time in games, the errors are
Right.
gone.
They seem to go away.
6 serving 3.
Yeah, it's error early. It's a amazing return of serve there from Shorty, who punches that with an underhand fist shot as a laser right in front of Killian, who
3
dives
serving 6.
as a get artist, unable to get it. This could be another huge setup. See,
Point.
Shorty's been missing those, so perhaps his legs are starting to warm up
4
a little
serving
bit.
6.
It seems like he was upright on the ones that he was swinging and missing earlier, and this is going to be a setup. Wow. How tough is it to play a player who hits an overhand shot like that, drives the ball to the back wall, and you're just
6-34.
unable to even see the ball come off the back wall? It's like playing a squash player.
Point.
There's one for the highlight reel. Killian Carroll tightening up that back wall kill. A flat mouse for the 7th point.
7 serving 4.
Here's that replay there. Just over the top, keeps that ball down, way down.
Point. 8 serving 4.
Now 2 quick ones here for Carroll. Be a
Point.
timeout from Shorty.
It's your second timeout.
I think it's a smart timeout. I know that
9
he's
serving
now
4.
out of
Minute.
timeouts, but after seeing an ace serve and then a really good serve where it wrinkled back, it was a natural reverse on that shot down the left there from Killian. And Shorty can't get it back to the front wall, and he sees, well, he just scored 3 straight points. He went over the top, killed that first one, and then gets those 2 serves, scores 3. Better call a timeout to stop the momentum. It's game #1 here between our #1, Killian Carroll, and Shorty Ruiz. Shorty made it here after defeating Emmett Pichot, who was in the finals of our tournament in 2015 at this very same club. Killian Carroll got past Peter Function yesterday, 15-10, 15-3. Shorty's match yesterday went tiebreaker. He lost the first one 6-15, but then came back in game #2, 15-7, and then the tiebreaker was just really close all the way until about 10-10, when Emmett went up to 14-10. Shorty got back in there, and I'm telling you, it was less than 2 minutes. That match was over, and he won 16-14. And it was
Scores
off
9 serving
that Sean
4.
Linning style of play where you're just cracking serves and doing everything right.
Killian
Point.
Carroll keeps his momentum going after that timeout. Shorty does have a 30-second timeout remaining.
10 serving 4.
Something I've noticed from Killian here, Dave, is that he's nice, going left to right on his serves a lot. Boy, both of these players playing hard here. Left-handed to the front, hard to do with an offhand.
What a rally. Incredible.
Side out.
Shorty is definitely feeling it after that rally. Killian, of course, jumps right back to
Yep.
return the serve, but that was 33 shots.
4 serving 10.
Killian looks back at his Apple Watch to see how many steps he took.
Short ball.
Upset with himself that it wasn't more.
Second serve.
But Dave, on that serve from Killian, are you noticing a lot of over to the left, back to the right, over to the left, over to the right?
Yeah, Killian mixes it up very well.
I'm impressed. Shorty's really dictating traffic here a lot lately.
Killian just punishing
Wow.
Shorty now, even though Shorty wins that
Point.
rally. That took a lot of energy. You see Shorty
Yeah,
now.
he's
He
out of
is exhausted right now.
That's your last timeout. 30 seconds.
This is exactly what Killian wants. He does
It's really
this.
only a matter of time until you get tired against Killian. Now, maybe a super fit player can make it a game and a half or even 2 games without being tired, but at some point you will get tired against Killian. But I've also seen Killian get tired, but it's very hard
to get
push him to that
yeah.
limit, because you're also going to be exhausted if he's tired. But Killian is just extending these rallies. Shorty hit 4 shots in that rally that would have won the point against anybody else. Killian kept them alive and forced Shorty to
Okay, time in.
hit 19 more shots
Scores 5,
in that
serving
rally
10.
from his first shot that would have ended the rally against most guys.
Boy, Killian is all
Point.
over the court here, and another
Check
point
the
now
floor,
for
please.
Shorty. Shorty has really dictated traffic a lot. He's standing in one spot. Killian seems to be hitting it right back
Thank
to where Ruiz is standing. Killian having to do a lot of diving, but it
6.
still takes a lot
6,
out of
serving
you
10.
if you're Shorty. Oh, wow. Are you
Point.
kidding me? Overhand tomahawk from 37 feet back. Look at the crowd here shaking their heads. That was
7,
an impressive
serving 10.
shot. Look at this thing, Dave. Here it is, tomahawk, bam.
If you don't hit those ceiling shots perfect against Shorty, you're
Point.
facing one of those.
And another
Hammer
point
kills.
here for Ruiz, who brings it to 8 to 10.
8, serving 10.
Could be another one here.
Over ball.
Referee noticed that there was just a little bit of a diversion from
8,
Shorty having to
serving
go
10.
around Killian there. Quick call. I thought it was the right call.
Short ball.
That's a huge
Shorty's
hop.
serving exclusively to the left here in these last
Second serve.
6 serves.
Nice.
Point.
Just clipping that side wall keeps that ball down.
6 straight points now for Shorty.
So this is the way he played
9,
against Emmett
serving 10.
yesterday at the very end of that third game. Oh, that would have been 10 to
Side
10
out.
serving. And that was the exact look he wanted to. That little underhand
10,
paddle into the
39.
left front would have kept that ball down. Impossible to get back if Shorty would have hit that ball anywhere on the front wall about 3 or 4 inches. I love this from Shorty.
Side
He's
out.
being very aggressive. You see him going for those shots as opposed to that one that we see from him sometimes where he seems to play a little bit more safe or missing low.
9, serving 10.
Oh,
Point.
that was a huge hop serve.
Together at 10.
He thought about it. Don't need to when you have that. Now at 11 to 10. Dave, this is a huge
Point.
flip of momentum.
11, serving 10.
I believe it was 10 to 4, wasn't it?
Short ball.
And that's another one that fools Killian. Wasn't it 10 to 4? We're
Second serve.
at a 7-point run here.
10 to 3. Now a
Side
good
out.
second serve and Killian Carroll back in the box.
Shorty upset with himself. He backed
10,
out of that
serving
server's
11.
box. Oh, great serve from Killian. Just a laser.
11 serving 11. Point.
3 swings from Killian, and he's back in the lead.
12 serving 11.
Oh,
Side out.
Killian not happy with
11
himself
serving
there.
12.
11-12, game number 1, quarterfinals. Oh, again, Shorty
Side out.
going for that elite shot. I'm not sure if that should have been the one
12
he's
serving
gone
11.
would have gone for there, but that's what's been executing here as of late.
Point. 13 serving 11.
That was a
It's a
point. Shorty might appeal this, but now we're at game point here.
Point. 14 serving 11.
Beautiful.
Side out.
He actually needed that one because
11 serving 14.
it looked as if Killian was pretty much on a roll there.
Side out. Fourteen serving 11. Game.
Shorty upset with himself, but he should feel a little bit better knowing that he had that 7-point run.
It was a bad second serve from Shorty at 11-10 that set up the side out and eventually 5 straight points for Killian Carroll, who escapes that great 8-point barrage from Shorty Ruiz and takes the first game.
That was an interesting one to watch. I want to thank ESPN and the Watch ESPN app and those back at the home office for helping us get this live broadcast on the air in Bristol. Let's go to Kara Mack, who is courtside with one of our fans. Kara?
Courtside with one of our fans and one of Shorty's, of course. I'm with Ashley Moeller here. Shorty, coming into this, really had a lot of confidence to take on Killian, had a strategy coming in. Talk a little bit about what he felt like this morning.
Well, he felt good. We found a really good breakfast diner, so he's nice and fed and ready to go and got good sleep last night. So I think this tournament, he's kind of the most focused I've seen him in quite a while, which helps with the confidence.
Is that because he's going to be a soon-to-be dad?
Probably not.
Help at all?
No.
He talked about wanting to keep Killian off balance, keep him on his feet. How do you see him executing that?
He's rushing his shots a little too much. He made some easy misses that he shouldn't have. I told him to put some hop on the ball because it is keeping him off balance, and that's one of his strengths. I told him he needs to play that up a lot more.
That rally came when the score was 10-4, Killian in the lead, and then Shorty really had a big gain there after that big rally between the two and taking that rally. How much confidence do you think that rally in itself gave him to kind of push up a little bit more in that game one?
Well, when you can string some points together, it gives you a little momentum, and then I think the crowd's behind him a little bit, so that helps. And I know that really fires him up. He likes to hear people cheer for him.
Coming into game two, what do you think is on his mind?
I think that, well, there's obviously more pressure losing the first game, so hopefully he can just forget about the first game, try to not make as many mistakes, throw some hops in there, keep him off balance, and get the second game.
Overall, knowing he was coming into quarterfinals day on this Saturday, what was his mood like? Was he excited to be here?
He was kind of normal. I mean, he's happy, of course. I get more excited, I think, than he does. He doesn't show it, but he's excited.
He's doing a great job out there. Congratulations, too, on the baby soon to be.
Yeah.
How many weeks?
19.
19, so starting to feel good. Do you know boy, girl yet?
No, Monday.
Monday. Ooh, soon. All right. Congratulations to you
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kara Mack, alongside lady friend of Shorty Ruiz, Ashley Moeller, who is a doctor herself, and she knows how to analyze things, especially when it comes to sports medicine type. Dave, you've had a chance to chat with her. She's very educated. She's also a top player as well. Just won the Women's Classic with that baby bump just a weekend or so ago in Tucson, Arizona. You know, she brought up something in there in that interview about hopping the ball, and that's something he has to do. And as soon as Shorty started hopping the ball, you saw Killian get a little bit more handcuffed. But we spoke to Killian and we asked him about Shorty and what he has to do to beat Shorty Ruiz. And, you know, you'd think, well, Killian said, well, I just have to act like myself, just be Killian. But that's not what he said. Here's what Killian said about defeating Shorty Ruiz earlier.
I'm going to look for Shorty's, serve down the right. He likes to reverse it and try and go for the crack to make sure that it doesn't bounce up and give me an opportunity to, play the rally. And also just his tremendous kills off the back wall. So I'll try and keep him off the back wall and keep him on the back foot, because he likes to stay balanced and shoot. So I'll try and keep him off balance and try and push the ball side to side and make sure that he's not in the center of the court or he doesn't get a big fat setup off the back wall.
That's about right. You saw that little cut above Killian's eye there. He got that figure skating, not playing hockey, figure skating.
Was that his second concussion of the year?
Yeah, he gets them, I guess, apparently
Zero,
every 3 or
serve
4
zero.
months. 0-0, game number 2. Wow.
Side out.
I thought Shorty's ball cracked out, but Killian
0, serve 0.
just was able to get a hand underneath that.
Short ball.
And his cracked out. Short ball.
Second serve.
After this one, it's going to be Vic Perez versus Luis Cordova. And that one, I think, can go any way.
Point. One, serve 0.
Killian going to make an effort here, Dave, to go up to the roof a little bit more in game number
Point.
2.
Oh, it's hard to take Killian's serves
Two,
to the
serve
ceiling.
0.
They're so low and moving away from you.
No, I mean, is Killian going to try to go up to the roof more? Because already here in game number 2, I've seen him go up there 4 times.
Side out.
I guess it's hard when you're, like you said, all of these top players hit the ball so low, it's hard to get underneath it.
0, serves 2.
Killian and Daniel Cordova have the best fist to the ceilings of any players on the tour.
Such a good shot from
Point.
Shorty.
One, serving 2.
Huge hook on that serve.
Side out.
Shorty looked like he was more of a spectator there. He thinks the ball's broken.
2, serving 1. Side out.
There's the back wall kill that Killian referenced
1,
in
serving
that
2.
pregame interview.
Short
Can never
ball.
predict what Killian's going to say.
Second serve.
What did you think he was going to say there?
Well, I thought he would probably mention Shorty's paddle kills and fly kills.
And his hopping ability.
Instead, he went the other direction.
Side out.
Talked about the back wall kill shots. Well, he certainly didn't need to
serving
worry
1.
about those in game number 1 because Shorty really didn't have a lot of those, and that ball looked like it was over the line. That might get.
Second serve.
Nope.
I agree with you, Dave. I thought that was clearly good. And no fist pump, which indicates it probably was good.
Side out.
Now it's just proof that Killian's a genius. Now all of a sudden Shorty's
One,
killing
serving
all these
2.
balls off the back wall after we ran that part that said that that's what he was going to look out for.
He was forward thinking.
Always is. Just not when he gets his concussion. Look at that tomahawk
It's a point.
from Shorty Ruiz again. He has Killian a little bit out of position off to the left, and he pokes that ball into the
2,
right corner.
serving 2.
Watch this angle, Dave. Boom. I mean, it looks so easy when you watch it on replay.
I don't think that looked easy. Neither did
Side
that.
out.
That's hard to do with your offhand. Hit it
serving
right
2.
back down the wall. Like a laser.
Not so sure Killian has
Point.
an offhand.
Saw him warming up yesterday when I was in the court, getting the camera ready to take some pics, and I was blown away by his warm-up.
3, serving 2.
Throwing the ball with his offhand at 80+ miles an hour, 1 inch high.
Side out. Check ball, please. Score is 2, serving 3.
Shorty has actually outscored Killian 10-8 in the last 18 points. Unfortunately for him, he was playing from a 10-3 deficit in that first game.
Nice call, thank you.
Yeah.
Side out. 3, serving 2. Short ball.
You remember Shorty gave Killian a good match in Houston in the round of
Second
16, 2017.
Yes.
15-12 in the second game. And he had some chances there in that second game with a lead. So Shorty knows that
4, serving 2.
if he makes his shots that he's got a chance.
Side out.
Killian has not been successful today with his fly kill.
2, serving 4. Short ball. Second serve.
Killian's last
Side out.
tournament, Dave, was in Fort Collins, Colorado. Not a race freight stop, but he came back from 10-0 in the tiebreaker, going
4,
to 11
serving 2.
against Sean Lenning to win that 11-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Side out.
you know, you talk about Shorty's comeback in game 1,
2, serving
but
4.
Killian is the king of comebacks.
Short ball.
We've seen him come back from
Second serve.
a 15-0 first game loss, 13-7 second game deficits to 15 and win. 11-4 deficits, win.
Side out.
Yeah. We've seen him on both sides of these strange.
4, serving 2.
And then, of course, we saw him
Ooh.
Point.
lose a 9-1
Feels it.
tiebreaker lead against Sean Lenning.
Hold the
Yeah, that's
green.
what I mean. You've seen him on both sides of these.
Mostly on the winning side, though. But
5,
then again,
serving
he's
2.
got 11 race freight titles and 22 starts. That's second most race freight wins of any men's player in history.
Point.
Behind Paul Brady.
That's right.
And then Luis Moreno probably third on that
Yes,
list.
he is.
I'm assuming
6,
Sean Lenning must be
serving
right
2.
after that, just based on,
Sean Lenning is fourth with 7.
yep.
Point.
And a timeout call from
Timeout. That's your
Shorty
first
Ruiz.
timeout.
Dave,
Score is 7,
Southern
serving
California
2.
Handball Association proudly hosting the 69th USHA National Four-Wall Championships at Los Caballeros in Fountain Valley, California. That's going to be June 26th through the 30th. The Nationals are a summer tradition for handball players across the country and around the globe, a place to reconnect with old handball friends, enjoy the best handball competition at the right here in the nation. In fact, I do believe it's now become more of a world event. When you go to the Nationals, you see the players from Mexico, and some come from Australia, and of course we see Canada and Ireland there as well. It's whether it's going to be 3-wall or 4-wall, that's sort of what you come to know as synonymous with Los Caballeros Sports Village. Now, even though they're going to be playing 4-wall there at that event, that's the facility that's kind of more known for playing both because of the Simple Green U.S. Open. But nonetheless, this year's Nationals will take place in the gorgeous backdrop of Southern California. It's a great family experience. You have Disney right there. You also have some Major League Baseball. You can go see the new $437 million man, Mike Trout, just down the street with
I
the
know you'll
Anaheim
be there.
Angels. Of course I will be.
I can't wait for that event.
I'm in. Score is
You
7,
can
serving 2.
get more information at ushandball.org or enter online at r2sports.com. And of course, Dave, we're going to film the 4-Wall Nationals and provide that live stream courtesy of the President's Club
Side out.
and the Board of Directors of the USHA, plus the World Players of Handball Board of
2,
Directors.
serving 7.
Very exciting news that broke a couple weeks ago that we'll be
Short ball.
bringing that great event to the world.
Second serve.
Again, that'll be coming up June 26th through the 30th, Los Caballeros in Fountain Valley, California, 4-Wall National Handball Championships.
Shorty Ruiz had a great second serve in this rally, Dave. Had a plum on his first strike and did
Side
not
out.
put it away, and makes an
Score
error
is 7,
4
serving
shots
2.
later.
He hasn't done well on the revolving door today at all. And I think that's just footwork, and that's a nice dig right there from Killian.
Killian's the only guy on tour that'll make that
Out.
diving get, and then he misses the sitter.
2.
He's not the only guy on tour that will miss
serving
the
7.
sitter, but
No.
Short ball.
another short serve them from Ruiz, who I think is trying to control that hop.
Second serve.
Shorty's second serve is oftentimes more dangerous than his first. He hits a soft reverse to the left. Got him in trouble, though, at 11-10 in the first game and kind of
Side out.
put the brakes on his momentum.
Seven serving 2.
Shorty's legs are
Point.
getting heavy now, Dave. You see a lot of open stand shots from Shorty, not wanting to make the extra effort to stand and face the side wall, and he's also on his back foot, not able to move forward and get to a lot of these Killian Carroll kills. And not that he doesn't want to, Dave, but sometimes your legs don't cooperate.
Second serve.
Yeah, I agree.
But this is all part of Carroll's master plan.
Side
That was
out.
not part of it, though. A complete whiff.
Well, you have to be in better shape than
serving
Killian,
8.
which is really hard to do, but you also have to outshoot him, or out-execute him, which is also very hard to do on its own. That's why he's so dangerous. You're not necessarily going to outsmart him, but you might out-execute him. That's an execution shot right there from Shorty Ruiz, who just takes it so nonchalantly off the back wall, but snaps it an inch high off the front wall. 3-8 here. Killian's been on the floor 15 times in this match. And he's not winning many of these rallies where he's on the floor.
No.
4 serving 8.
But then again, if you win even one of them, that's more than you would have won without diving, right? If you look at it that way.
Wow, that ball just kind of
Side out.
slipped right out of there.
8 serving 4.
Wow.
Point.
It's a great 1-2 combination
9
from
serving
Killian,
4.
who now is nearing the semifinals.
Point. 10 serving 4.
You know, normally you'd say, well, this is just a matter of time. But the way that Shorty's been
Second
playing in this
serve.
tournament, he's had these huge comebacks at this exact same score, it seems. Those are tricky shots. Ruiz went to the well a little too often there.
Point.
And a timeout called from Shorty, now 11-4
Timeout.
in
Second
favor
timeout.
of Killian
Scores
Carroll.
11 serving 4.
Killian also going to step out of the court, which is somewhat rare. I think he's feeling it too here.
No, Killian has his routine. He takes his water and walks over towards the courts 2 and 1, goes right up to that drinking fountain out there, and then he'll turn around. He already has the steps paced off, so he knows exactly what 60 seconds is. He was working on that yesterday, Dave. I was asking him why he was putting dots on the floor, but it's for this very purpose. He knows exactly where to put his left foot and right foot and when to turn around.
Uh-oh.
Now that's gonna
that's
disrupt
gonna
a lot
yeah,
right there.
That's not good.
But you see how he's picked up the pace there to account for that.
I did see that. I saw it and it frustrated me a little bit, but he's smart.
Well, he's now resumed his pace. He made up for that lost time.
I know that he put
15
some athletic
seconds.
bags in the place of those chairs since they weren't here at the time he was marking his spots, so he can go around the bag. And one of the members a little upset that he picked up his bag, but Killian's such a nice guy that
Time in.
being upset changed rather quickly. Once the member
Coming in.
realized who he was talking to,
Scores
royalty.
11 serving 4.
11-4.
Point.
Inside out.
Killian just teeing off on
12,
Shorty's
serving
return of
4.
serves now. Shorty's not able to
I'm gonna
get
play that
Killian
short.
out of the front court. That was called short.
I agree it was short. That's
Second
my,
serve.
my thumb down to you was that it was short
I
before
thought
he
it was
called
about
it.
something else.
Just saying that was a short ball, and the ref called it kind of late.
Point.
Shorty's lost his legs completely, and now I think it's affecting everything.
It always does.
13, serving 4.
When you get your will broken and then you lose your legs,
I like that fly kill there from Killian, who does not go for the kill. Pushes Shorty out with a great
Match
angled
point,
pass.
serving
Now
4.
match point.
and that's it.
Game. Thank you.
Killian taking down Shorty Ruiz 15-11, 15-4 here in game number 2. He's going to stay on the court as Kara Mack's going to get in there and talk to him about this win, as he will now advance to the semifinals. We'll watch Killian a little later today, Dave. But before all of that, let's go to our reporter, Kara.
Talk about this one, Killian. Game 1 versus Game 2. What did you do in between those two games to bring out a different Killian in that Game 2?
Well, you know, I had a really tough first round yesterday as I played fellow countryman Peter Funchen. But today I was just expecting something a bit different, you know, especially Shorty's good in the hop serves. He's good with his paddle hands, especially over height, you know, and he brings a lot of 3-wall to the 4-wall court. So, you know, I was just making sure that I was trying to get control of the front of the court and watch out for his back corner paddles. You know, he caught me a lot of the times, especially when I was on the back foot. He just dumped the ball in front, and, you know, he did very well. But I just tried to do something a bit different than yesterday because he's a different opponent.
This little eye thing going on, not a handball accident.
No. I got mauled by a tiger. No, I fell ice skating.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So
Has it affected your play at all?
no, healed up nicely. So yeah.
First a big bruise and then...
Yeah, actually my jaw was really messed up. Well, just swollen, you know, my nose, my jaw, and my eyelid. Yeah, so it was pretty bad.
Have you ever had that many stitches from handball?
That's my first time ever getting stitches.
Oh, that's a different sport. There you go. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, good luck in the semis. Back to you guys.
And his aspirations of being a supermodel just went down the tubes with that. But of course, they always have airbrushing and stuff like, you know, those little techniques like that. Killian Carroll taking down Shorty Ruiz. The score 15-11, 15-4. We have another great one coming up next. Vic Perez and Luis Cordova. And now, you know, Dave, we're definitely going to be talking about this in just a bit. That one kicks off 10:45, just, you know, a couple minutes away. But I believe it can go any way, as Vic Perez is playing really good ball. We'll talk about it next. Give us about 5-10 minute break here, and we'll be back with more action. Want to thank ESPN, the Watch ESPN app, for giving us more continued coverage with the World Players of Handball. Linda Manning, Chris Garrad, Shay Lowenstein, Kara Mack, Lolita DeVincent, and the broadcast partner here, David Fink. Want to thank all of them for helping out with this broadcast on ESPN3. We'll be back in just a bit. Stick with us.